As a spiritual person or even as a self aware person, one common theme of questioning that you would encounter throughout your journey is wondering whether you're actually on the right path. Whether with every single book that you're reading, or video that you're consuming, or podcast that you're listening to, are your thoughts, are your actions, are your emotions, are your choices actually improving? Throughout your life, especially as someone who's looking to improve upon his or her understanding of life, of themselves, you would keep encountering certain aha moments that will give you life lessons that change your life forever, that stay with you forever. This is what I aim to achieve with today's video. So, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Today's Ask a Human Not an AI question features a question by Rushikesh Lahoti. It's a beautiful question. He says, I'm 23 years old. In the last 6 months, spirituality has become one of the most important things in my life. I'm trying as much as possible to know about life, spirituality, and meditation from watching YouTube videos, reading books, and giving dedicated time for meditation. Good for you. How do I know if I'm on the right track, or if I'm reading the right book, or watching the right video, or doing the meditation correctly? Wow. And what should be my next steps? How to connect with the right person? Don't you think I've already contacted the right person? Or should I go to a specific place to progress in my spiritual journey? Of course not. Thank you for your help and amazing videos. Lots of love, Rushikesh Lahoti. Thank you, Rushikesh, for all of your vulnerability and all of your love you showed in this question. The first thing I want to tell you, Rushikesh, is you're on the right path. This is totally out of my intuition from reading your question, from reading the comments that you leave in the comment section on the Unlearning Playground. You're on the right path. As long as you keep acting out of love and not out of fear, you will be on the right path. And I can see a lot of love being apparent from this question, and like I said, from the comments that you leave in the comment section. So keep going with it. I think you're already on the right path. As far as your questions go, you asked me if you should go to a specific place to progress in your spiritual journey. Of course not. There is no ashram, there is no mountain, there is no beach, at least none specific ones that will help you progress in your spiritual journey. For that matter, if you're looking for a good place to progress in your spiritual journey, you're at the right place, the Unlearning Playground. And with that, you ask me how to connect with the right person. You're connected with the right person. If you think you need some help in your spiritual journey, if you think you have some specific questions that you need answers to in your specific spiritual journey, hit me up with those specific questions and I'll make sure I reply back to them. I would try to do it in the form of a video such as this, but if we need some other medium, we will do that too. So make sure you know how to reach out to me. Reach out to me. And having said that, now, I still want to leave you with 5 indicators that will help you gauge whether you're progressing spiritually or not. Let's get into that now. The first key indicator to becoming more spiritual, to growing spiritually, is that your level of self awareness improves, your level of self awareness increases. This is counterintuitive to a lot of people who do not want to be labeled as spiritual, but this is true. Self awareness, a higher degree of self awareness, is actually one of the key side effects of becoming more spiritual. And with self awareness, I do not just mean the goody goody stuff. I do not just mean that you become aware of all the bliss there is in life, all the enlightenment, and all the joy that life has to offer. You also become aware of everything that is its diametric opposite. It's like that quote from Carl Jung. I have it open here. He says, no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach hell. That is so true. That is so true. You cannot become aware of the beauty of life without also becoming aware of its diametric opposite. So, how that will manifest in your life is you will, of course, experience blissful joy in certain moments. You will, of course, experience being extremely connected to a lot of people in your life. But at the same time, you'll also experience sadness of the highest degree. You will experience sadness of being completely alien, being not feeling connected to people who you have outgrown, let's say. That will happen too. So, all in all, in both of these scenarios, you are becoming more self aware and you will become aware of diametric opposite situations, like I mentioned. You keep becoming more and more aware of your own patterns of thinking, your own patterns of responding and reacting to situations. All of that constitutes self awareness, and a higher degree of this self awareness constitutes spiritual growth. The second key indicator to spiritual growth is your relationship with control, how you respond to different life situations, how you do not force different life situations to change according to your own whim. You must understand, you must inculcate the discernment that diametrically opposite life advices, diametrically opposite life lessons, and spiritual teachings can be applicable in different life situations. For example, you could face life situations where go with the flow and let things be is the highest level of teaching, is the highest level of life lesson that you can apply. And you might also face life situations where the highest level of spirituality that you want to apply in the situation is imposing your own will and changing the situation, at least trying your level best to change the situation, almost like saying, this is not going to happen on my watch. Both of these life lessons, both of these life advices are true at different junctures in life. And you need to inculcate the discernment to find out what kind of a situation, what kind of a control is being demanded in this particular life situation. You know that very famous saying from the Bhagavad Gita, Karm kar phal ki chinta mat kar, which loosely translated to English would mean do your deed, but do not worry about the outcomes. That is exactly what I mean here. Do your deed, do the highest possible deed that you want to do in a given situation. That could be going with the flow of the situation, that could be imposing your will on the situation. But do your deed and do not worry about the outcome. Think about the outcome, focus your deed with regards to what you want to achieve with the outcome in your mind, but do not worry about the outcome because the final outcome is never really 100% in your control. The third key indicator to spiritual growth is a shift in your priorities, which means that being spiritual would, of course, mean that your priorities keep shifting from being selfish to being something higher than your own needs. Now, this does not mean that you abandon your needs, your own needs completely. It's like that pyramid of needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. All of us have basic needs, which we call roti kapda makan in Hindi, or in English, you would say, we all need to eat, we all need to drink, we all need to have clothes, we all need to have a shelter over our heads. These needs will stay with you throughout your life. But being spiritual, growing spiritually, would always mean that you understand that these selfish needs, these lower level needs, are not what all of your existence is all about. And you keep on understanding that your life is meant to be more than just to satisfy your own needs. If you realize that, and if you keep acting on this realization, I think you're good. Another key indicator with regards to spiritual growth that I want to leave you with is that as you grow spiritually, you would find that you almost intuitively develop this attitude of gratitude towards life, which is something I've talked about at least a gazillion times on this channel already. You start to have an attitude towards life, which can be summarized as your life is happening for you, not to you. You understand and you keep acting on the realization that you're not a victim of life, rather, your life is happening for you to take you towards your destiny. Now, because I've talked about gratitude so many times on this channel already, I do not want to spend more time talking about it here. You can check out my specific video where I discussed gratitude in much detail. Now, I have one more key indicator about spiritual growth that I still want to talk about. But before that, I have a request to make of you. If you're staying with me till here, of course, you like the video. So, like the video on the YouTube app. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And share this video in your community after you're done with it. Let's keep going. The fifth key indicator to spiritual growth is somewhat esoteric. In fact, not somewhat, it is extremely esoteric, but it's still something that I want to talk about. And that is you understand that you're growing spiritually when you understand the fact that reality is beyond words. As you grow spiritually, as you grow even in only your self awareness journey, you understand that our language is always limited when compared to the highest truth that life has to offer to us and also to the highest truth that we are experiencing within ourselves. It's almost like saying, if you have experienced the death of a loved one, I'm giving that example because I experienced that very recently. What you feel inside in such an overwhelming situation, what you feel inside of you, what is your deepest, highest feeling, there is no word that you can use to do justice to that feeling. No matter how hard you try, no matter how clever, no matter how good you are with words, even then, all words fail when it comes to doing justice to the feeling that you have inside you. And that is especially true also when you're talking about your spiritual truths. For example, all of these indicators that I've talked about in this video, I think that I have used English language, I've used words from the English language to talk about all of these things. It could very well happen that these words invoke different images in different people. It will happen that way, right? Because of all the different backgrounds that people have, all the different books and videos they've watched, or based on how much they have watched me, the images invoked in their minds when they hear me talking about all of these things in the specific words that I used will be different. And therefore, by default, it means that reality, the right message that I wanted to convey, is always going to be beyond these words. And it could very well happen that you have resonated a lot with this video, and you come back to this video 5 months, 1 year down the line, and each and every single life lesson that I've given in this video, the spiritual growth indicator that I've talked about in this video, you completely rebel against each of them. And that's true too, because in one manner of speaking, the real spiritual growth, the real indicator to spiritual growth is understanding that silence is probably the highest spiritual teaching there is. This reminds me of that very old Zen quote. I have it open here. It says, how beautiful. All that can be said cannot be true. That which can be said will not be true. And the truth cannot be said. Only this much can be said, and only this much is true. So that's it. With that said, I think I should be silent now. If you like this video, make sure you like it on the YouTube app too. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you check out more of my content, and make sure that you share this video and my channel with your community. Until next time, peace out.